Welcome to the Devonport Naval Heritage Centre YouTube channel. Situated at the western end of Devonport Park near the cafe is a stone plinth inscribed with "Ready, Aye, Ready". On top of this is mounted a gun carriage with what appears to be an oversized machine gun, referred to locally as the Doris gun. Why is this here, and what makes this often overlooked memorial so special? More formally called the HMS Doris Boer War Field Gun Memorial, it was erected to commemorate the crew of HMS Doris lost during the battles in South Africa. The Doris gun isn't the only Boer War memorial in Plymouth. Another is on Plymouth Hoe near the Royal Citadel. This is a red granite obelisk. The memorial in Devonport Park was paid for by the crew of HMS Doris and placed in a position in Devonport Park overlooking the dockyard and the River Tamar. The gun sits on top of a plinth made by the Devon sculptor Harry Heames and was unveiled by Admiral Sir Edward Hobart Seymour on the 27th of February 1904. Below the beveled edge of the plinth and the inscription "Ready, Aye, Ready" are three insert panels. The middle panel reads, "This gun, captured from the Boers, has been erected here by the officers and men of HMS Doris in memorial to their shipmates who lost their lives in this campaign." The two plaques either side of this dedication contain the names of the fallen. HMS Doris was a Devonport manned ship, but research from Devon Heritage shows that just like with the modern Navy, the crew originated from all over the country, and there are also crew members from the Commonwealth. The names on the left-hand panel are Major John Hawk Plume of the Royal Marine Light Infantry, originally from Berkshire. The story goes that after being fatally wounded, his pet dog sat faithfully beside his body until the ambulance arrived. He died aged 41. Midshipman Cumberline Alonzo Edric Huddard was born in Ballarat, Australia, and died aged 18. He was posthumously awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross for bravery. Midshipman Stuart Robertson, Midshipman James Menzies, born in London and died at the age of 17. Midshipman Lionel George Rodney Lloyd of the Royal Marine Light Infantry died aged 21. Private Francis Doran of the Royal Marine Light Infantry, who was the personal servant of Major John Plume. The names on the right-hand panel are Able Seaman Francis Coleman from Glasgow, who died aged 19. Able Seaman Matthew Wise, born in East Yorkshire, aged 26. Acting Bombardier Albert Edwards of the Royal Marines Artillery. Ordinary Seaman John Edward Hook from Teignmouth, Devon, aged 19. Stoker William Lockett from Manchester, died aged 23. Second class sick bay steward William James Thomas Phillips from London, died aged 27. Second class domestic Lewis Wells from Lincolnshire, died aged 20. The Doris gun is a 37mm Maxim Nordenfeld quick-fire gun built by the British and supplied prior to the Boer War, more often referred to as a 1-pounder pom-pom. The 1-pounder designation refers to the shell weight. Although similar in appearance to the 2-pounder pom-pom that was a common Royal Naval anti-aircraft gun in the Second World War, they are different guns that share a common ancestry, the anti-aircraft gun firing a 2-pound 40mm shell. The Doris gun itself is believed to be one of only 3 1-pounder pom-poms of this type left in the world, the others being in the South African National Museum of Military History and the other being found on a fortress in Montevideo in Uruguay. The weather has taken its toll on the Doris gun, and even though restoration work has been undertaken in the past, the steel on parts of the gun is beginning to delaminate. The Friends of Devonport Park are trying to find a home for this rare cannon where it can be kept inside and restored. HMS Doris was an Eclipse-class cruiser launched at Barrow-in-Furness in the year 1896. She was one of a class of 9 vessels, roughly equivalent to a Second World War Arethusa-class light cruiser. Naval technology had improved quickly during the latter part of the 1800s. HMS Doris was launched only 36 years after the launch of HMS Warrior, the world's first iron warship. Her main armament was 5 6-inch guns in single protected open mounts, with a secondary armament of 6 4.7-inch guns and half a dozen 3-pounders. Her 8 coal-fired boilers produced steam for 2 triple-cylinder expansion engines, each turning a single propeller, giving the ship a top speed of 18.5 knots. Between 1898 and 1900, HMS Doris was the flagship of the Vice Admiral Sir Robert Harris when he was the commander of the Cape of Good Hope station. The Second Boer War was from October 1899 to May 1902 and was fought between the Boers and the British Empire in a territory then known as Orange Free State. After her involvement in the Second Boer War, HMS Doris was paid off in Devonport in May 1901 for a refit that lasted until June 1902. She then joined the Channel Squadron. In August 1902, she took part in the Spithead Naval Review for the coronation of King Edward VII. The start of the First World War saw HMS Doris serving in the 11th Cruiser Squadron of the Home Fleet. In November 1914, she was sent to the Mediterranean. During April 1915, she bombarded the coast of the Gallipoli Peninsula as part of the diversionary force covering the landings during the Gallipoli campaign. From March 1917, HMS Doris was stationed in India as a depot ship before being sold for scrap locally on the 2nd of February 1919. During the Boer War, ships' guns would often be landed and placed on improvised carriages as part of a naval brigade in support of the army. HMS Doris landed one or more of her 4.7-inch guns. These guns were employed during battles near Bloemfontein. Then on the 11th of December 1899, at the Battle of Madersfontein, the 9th Naval Brigade had one of HMS Doris's 4.7-inch guns that was known as Joe Chamberlain and was commanded by Captain Bearcroft. The last battle of the Second Boer War occurred in February 1900 on the banks of the Modder River near Paardeberg. A naval brigade consisting of 9 naval officers, 68 bluejackets, 7 marine officers, 290 NCOs and men of the Royal Marines Light Infantry, made up of crews from HMS Doris, HMS Monarch, HMS Powerful and HMS Terrible. The arrival of the Naval Brigade gave the British Army artillery equal to that of the Boers, and the battle was a British victory. It was during this battle that a number of 1-pounder pom-poms were captured, including the gun in Devonport Park. These battles were 800 miles from the coast, and the men and guns had to travel long distances overland, traversing difficult terrain. It was incredible feats of endurance like this that gave rise to the most dangerous sport in history. During the relief of Ladysmith, guns from the Navy ships HMS Terror and HMS Powerful were decisive in the British victory. These guns were transported over unforgiving terrain, including ravines. In 1907, the Naval Field Gun Competition was set up to commemorate this. Devonport, Portsmouth and the Fleet Air Arm had teams that would compete during the summer, with the final runs taking place during the Royal Tournament. The gun teams of 18 would sprint with the gun and limber to the home wall, manhandling the gun over this wall before setting up a rope bridge to cross the ravine. Then the gun and limber would pass through a narrow aperture in the enemy wall, reaching the end of the course, setting the gun up and firing 3 rounds. After a short break, this was repeated in reverse before the final run home. The world record for this is held by Devonport at a time of 2 minutes 40.43 seconds. During the summer leading up to the Royal Tournament, the public could watch field gun runs on the parade grounds near the Church of St Nicholas in Devonport Dockyard. Near HMS Victory, in the historic naval dockyards at Portsmouth, is a monument to the field gunners and one of these guns. For more information on the Devonport Naval Heritage Centre, our opening times and any events that we attend throughout the year, please visit our Facebook page and our website. We look forward to welcoming you to the museum in the near future.